Hello and welcome. Welcome, dear one. It's Psychic Cynthia here, Spiritual Psychic Cynthia Killian. And welcome to your Friday edition of the Cosmic Update and Tea Time in the Garden. So I invite you to join me for a cup of tea or coffee or just a relaxing breathing break, and let's get caught up in the cosmic universe. So I'm filming this for you on Thursday, and it will come out for you on Friday, hopefully. And earlier this week, on July 20th, we had a new moon in Cancer. And here's what's interesting is we had a new moon in Cancer last month too, in June. But that one was a eclipse, actually. And how this happened, in case you're wondering, how can we have two new moon in Cancers, back to back in 2 different months? Well, they're happening at different degrees, and this last one we just had happened at a very late degree of Cancer. So it's 28 degrees. And when we have something occurring at this late of a sign, even though it's a new moon, like new moons, we always think of new beginnings, but with it occurring at 28 degrees, it's actually the universe, the cosmos, indicating to all of us that this is actually more of a time of closure and endings, and more of a time to maybe perhaps resolve and complete what has already been started, including karmic resolution. This is an invitation to the dance of resolution from the universe. It's an invitation to the dance of surrender and acceptance. And because it's a new moon, and maybe you don't understand this or you're not familiar yet with this idea, the new moon each month is the time of new beginning. It sets the tone, especially the emotional theme, the emotional undercurrents for the next 29 days, so basically the next month. That's not a calendar month, understand. That's from the time of one new moon to the next. So we just had this new moon on Monday, July 20th, and this is the theme, for the next month, and especially in the sign of Cancer, this is a very sensitive, emotional, very deep emotional sign. So we're being challenged to let go emotionally. I mean, Cancer doesn't let go, actually. So maybe in some ways we'll also get a chance to figure out what we can still hold on to, what we want to hold on to. What is it that you are grounded in? Even though this is a water sign, it's connected to that sense of home, family, belonging. So it is, could be a good time for connecting out with family in some ways. Now, it's not entirely good, and especially right now, this week and going into next week. Going into, say, the week of, depends on what day you want to start it on, but, the week of the 26th or so. But even right now, as this video is coming out, the thing is that on the same day of the new moon and at about the same time, Saturn, which was conjunct the new moon, opposing the new moon, is also making its yearly opposition to the sun, and it's retrograde. It's making this opposition to the sun. So Saturn, this is Saturn now I'm talking about in Capricorn, and when Saturn makes the opposition to the sun every year, it's only once a year, then it's closest to the sun for that year. And it seems to be that, as above, so below. So when Saturn is closest to the sun, the energies, the psychic currents of Saturn are also closest to us here on Earth. So we're getting a big heavy dose of Saturn right now. Let's see, I had some notes about this. I mean, I don't really need to read notes about Saturn. Now, here's the thing. I'm a Capricorn sun. My ruling planet is Saturn. Man, I've had way too much Saturn in my life, but I have learned how to deal with it. And I suppose you will too. We all, this year, 2020, is just full of all these major Saturn transits, and then all of this Capricorn energy, which is ruled by Saturn. So we're getting a heavy dose of Saturn in 2020. Have you noticed it's not that fun of a year? I mean, collectively. And, a lot of people, a lot of astrologers even prior to 2020, I don't know, I wouldn't say they were good astrologers. A lot of amateur astrologers, okay, let's say that, were making predictions about these alignments in Capricorn, and they were saying, oh, it's going to be the age of light workers and all this. And I'm like, do these people know astrology? Do they know what Capricorn means? Because Capricorn and Saturn, this is very difficult energy, okay? And anyway, getting back to what just happened with, I mean, that's for the whole year. But what just happened on Monday, on the same day the new moon, with Saturn opposing the sun and being closest to the sun, and also its vibration being closest to us on Earth right now, this is increasing. It's not decreasing, understand. It's increasing that feeling that the weight of the world is on your shoulders. It's actually not just increasing the feeling. Well, that's the thing. What you have to separate out is how much of it is feeling and how much of it is, you know, your objective reality. So sometimes things just feel heavier, but then sometimes actually you're having more responsibilities. You are being tested more. And, you know, I would invite you to, you know, take a beat, take a breath, take a moment to look at the challenges in your life or where you're feeling down. And, you know, I can't evaluate this for you. I mean, unless I'm working with you in a private session. And even then, I can't really say, only you can say for sure for you. But where is it that you're actually restricted? Where is it that you're actually being tested? You know, and where is it that maybe you're just creating your own problems? And maybe they can be overlaid, but you know, I mean, for example, I mean, right now this week, in actually maybe almost on the day that this new moon and Saturn opposition was exact, I mean, in the state of Kansas where I live, and actually particularly in my city, but there was another, I don't know if it's a mandate or whatever, but they kind of, you know, we had lifted up on some of the restrictions related to COVID, and now they went back, and now it's interesting. You see this cosmic stuff, or let me put it this way, the stuff that happens on Earth, it's not random, it's all written in the cosmos. So what happens on the same week and nearly the same day that Saturn is opposing the sun and its energies of restriction are stronger, the governor comes out and says, oh, sorry, you can't have bars open anymore. Now, I don't go to bars, so this doesn't personally affect me, although my heart goes out to those people who rely on working at bars for their income. I mean, I do have some friends who are bartenders and servers, and they don't know what they're going to do. They're not sure how they're going to eat. Okay, like maybe this week they're okay, but next week maybe not. I don't know. That's Saturn. Those are real issues. Those are real objective world issues, you know, that they're going to have to deal with. And by the way, I'm not saying I'm for or against closing the bars. I mean, I have seen some, you know, strong evidence that suggests maybe that would be for people's health, but. Yeah, if you don't have anything to eat, you don't have any health either. So it's hard. My heart goes out, and I hope they're going to do some kind of financial incentive for those people or stimulus, because, yeah, people need to be able to earn money. Not everybody has the luxury of living off investments or being retired. You know, if you do, that's great. And, you know, I'm happy for you, truly, because, yeah, then you don't have to worry about some of these things that some of these working class people do. So. Anyway, those are real issues, right? But sometimes we just, you know, we see obstacles where there are not obstacles. And, you know, look at that in your life. And even if there are obstacles, what I would invite you to do is to look for the grace and look for the workaround. The thing about Saturn energies, if we are willing to become more disciplined in ourselves. Saturn is about discipline too. It isn't just about giving you these tests and these restrictions, you know, to be a mean ass. It's really not. The test that it gives us, the restrictions, the severity, is truly to help us grow into stronger. And listen up here. Listen if you don't hear anything else. To help us grow into stronger and more mature, more evolved individuals. So, you know, if you are a person who's out of work because of these restrictions being placed, or for any other reason, or, you know, even if you have health issues or whatever, then with these types of energies going on right now, this is a call for you to look within and ask yourself, where can you take greater responsibility in your life in improving your situation? And listen, I'm not saying it's all on you. I'm not saying there aren't societal things that affect you. There are, but that's not what these energies are about only. They are about nudging, maybe in some cases pushing us as individuals to grow. And it's unfortunate, I think, but it's really part of the human being. Or as animals, one of our qualities is that many of us do not grow unless we're pushed. We do not choose to grow. I mean, some of us do, and that's how you can tell how evolved you're becoming. Do you push yourself to grow? Do you, not in an unhealthy way. You can go too far with this too, but do you challenge yourself? Do you nudge yourself? That's why I'm constantly learning something new. As some of you know, I'm learning to play the handpan drum right now, and I'm also going back and really learning how to musically play the djembe. I'm not trying to get a second career as a drummer. I'm just growing. I understand that as I grow, even in an area that's called a hobby, this awakens new abilities and new understandings within myself, a new understanding of the universe. And frankly, it helps me to lighten my karma. So you don't have to play an instrument, but the point is, please get this, that we are being encouraged and nudged and pushed to grow, to take responsibility. Certainly with these energies, I would be open to receiving help. That's very important, to be open to receive, okay? And some of us have, issues with that. We struggle, so just be open. Learn to say yes when people offer to help. If it's true and sincere. Now, some people are manipulative, and you have to discern that. But if it's true and sincere, be open to receive the help. And understand that the major impetus right now is towards, one, taking responsibility for their own karma. And you are being called, whoever you are watching this video, because of these collective energies in some way. And you might look at your own life and your own astrology chart and all of that. And listen, I can't do that for you in a little YouTube or Facebook comment. If you want to have an in-depth reading on that, we can do a private reading. Otherwise, you can investigate some yourself. That's something you can do, looking at your own chart. See where Saturn is at right now. Just check that out. Start learning about that house. That's what I would do, even if I didn't know anything about astrology. Go to astro.com and get your chart. So just a little tidbit there, but you are being called to mature, to grow, to stretch, and to improve your life. To improve, really, what this is saying is to improve your life too. You improve it by improving the inner self. And it does take more discipline. And I know that's a dirty word to some people, discipline. Nobody likes that word, it seems. Now, I'm a Capricorn. I like that word. I've learned over the years that discipline is my friend, and discipline actually leads to more joy in my life. For example, because I have been disciplined, and I wasn't always, but at one point I got disciplined and said, I will get up every day and do yoga in the morning for at least 30 minutes to an hour if I can, but at least 20 or 30 minutes. And because I've taken on that discipline, I'm so much more healthier and flexible, and I'm less cranky in the mornings, and I have more fun in life. So this applies to anything. The same thing with my drumming. Because I've taken on the discipline to practice daily a little bit, to learn rhythms, to learn, all these different nuances, I'm getting better and I'm having more fun when I play. It's the same concept. So don't be afraid of getting more discipline. Don't be afraid of ever getting more education. I'm not saying go in debt for it. You have to be mindful of that. But seek out the learning and always be seeking to learn and grow. That's part of what this transit, is saying. So in a way, even though Saturn is restrictive in this opposition and all this going to the new moon, yes, it is challenging for our interpersonal relationships. Listen, it is, but I'll talk about that in a second maybe, but in a way, even though it's restricted, it's actually can be quite expansive for those who are willing, if you're willing, to hear that clarion call to evolve, to grow, to work on what you need to work on in yourself. And hear me, I said on yourself. If you can, please keep your nose out of other people's karma. If you find yourself getting worked up about what other people should be doing, the mask issue is a perfect example. And other people should be masking. Other people should not be masking. You know what? You should be living your own life building on your dreams, developing your talents and skills instead of worrying about what other people are doing or not doing. I mean, at least if you care about being happy and joyous and free and enlightening in your karma, this is the way to go, not to get so involved in what other people are doing. And listen, I know we all have an opinion, and I don't want to hear your opinion about that issue here because this is a spiritual video, so I just want you to understand that that's just one example. But if you're getting so worked up about what other people are doing or not doing, that is a very strong sign. It's an indicator that you are not flowing well with these energies. You are not answering the call. You are not living your life. And you can choose to do that if you want. That's your business. But understand that will create pain and suffering for you. Because under these energies, we will be happier and freer. You will be happier and freer to the extent that you are willing to be more disciplined in your own life, to work on developing your own skills and talents, and minding your own business and really minding your business, tending to yourself and yes, your family as well, not in a dictatorial way, but your household, your family, these basic things, these need to be taken care of before you go out trying to solve the problems of the world. All right? And listen, even though we've had these heavy transits, I want you to know we did have the sun enter Leo yesterday on Wednesday. I guess that would be is that the 22nd? Yes. And that's the good news, I think. This is all good, actually, but that's the lighter news, So this is a very creative sign. So from July 22nd to around August 23rd, this will be a month of focusing on your self-individuality, your self-expression, be more creative, be more artistic. And I would love to hear about that in the comments. Write me, tell me, how are you being more creative? How are you working with this Leo energy? Are you pursuing culinary interest? Are you pursuing musical? Do you sew? Do you craft? Are you doing home improvement projects? Maybe, you always wanted to ride a motorcycle and you've never done that before. So right now, in terms of the solar energies, we are to be focusing on creativity and self-expression in uplifting ways, not in tyrannical or, just, putting other people down, but more in the creative matrix. And also, Leo is a sign of having fun, refreshment, pleasure. And, these are all things that can be a valid part of your spiritual journey. I mean, truly having fun in an uplifting, healthy way, and just letting your hair down and kicking back. Well, listen, I know it's hard right now in some places because we're under these quarantines, or actually, I don't know what they're even calling them now. They're not quite quarantine. Well, some places it is still quarantine, but there are restrictions on our movement. But do what you can. Do what you can. Have fun in the way you can. I mean, I'm out on the porch playing my drums almost every night. That's what I do for fun. And my husband joins me sometimes, or he's out there playing guitar and I listen to him. So maybe you don't play music and that's okay. Maybe you can turn on the radio. I mean, playing music, that's really cool and fun. By the way, I don't consider myself musical even, so anybody can do it. Dancing, I don't know, cooking. I mean, I know a lot of us have been cooking under quarantine, but cooking can be fun, if you try something new. Sewing and I don't know, whatever you like to do, getting out in nature. Of course, I love to garden too. Maybe if you're not an outdoorsman, you want to mix up herbal stuff. I don't know, maybe you're a journaler, maybe, just have some fun, Oh, you could watch more psychic videos. You could get out your divination tools, do a reading over your romance or your creativity. Maybe we'll do a video about that later. But that's what I wanted to talk with you about today. And, if you start freaking out, remember, it helps if you keep your focus on what is before you, your own life. Don't try to run other people's lives so much or worry about what they're doing because you can't control that, okay? Unless these are your small children, and in that case you're a mom or dad, you should be the best parent that you can be. But, if these are not small children, then people are going to need to they're going to do what they're going to do whether you want them to or not. And, instead of focusing on that, trying to be a controller, be a creator. Be a developer in your own life. Develop your fun capacity, your creativity, and also, don't forget to spend time contemplating your spiritual path in meditation, connecting with that centeredness, dears. That is everything. That is really the secret. So, until next time, sending you all the love in the world and bright blessings.